Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. If you live in Delaware, I'm sure you've read Delaware Today. Maybe you subscribe to it. Well, it's about to undergo a change, and mainly because they have a new editor. Scott Pruden is the new editor of Delaware Today Magazine. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So you've been on the job 6 days, you said?
I have. This is day number 6, and it's still going well.
So you've been writing for them, though? I
have. I've written for them on and off for about 20 years, and also sister publication Mainline Today.
How did you get the job? What did you say to them?
This job was funny because it hinged on, according to the folks that I've talked to in the office since then, it hinged on a story that I told about being a young newspaper reporter living in South Carolina at the time and mocking up my own magazine and sort of imagining what I could do as far as a magazine to cover the state of South Carolina where I was living at the time. And that, I think, really resonated with them, and the fact that I said, you know, by taking this job, I'm sort of fulfilling a lifelong ambition. Like everything in my life has been leading up to this point, and that's the truth. I've been just fascinated with magazines ever since I was a young person, and have always dreamed of working in an editorial capacity. So this really is the fulfillment of a dream. So
now, based on your ideas from so many years ago, you now are in charge. How's the magazine going to change?
It is probably going to undergo a little bit of a modernization. We are looking at a number of different things that are going on in the magazine industry. There is a tendency and a trend towards shorter stories, particularly in the front of the magazine. There is a tendency towards pieces that are easily consumed and digestible, smaller, and yet still written in a way that brings a certain amount of delight and enjoyment to the reader.
Are you going to have an online presence more than you have now?
We do have an online presence. That is also going to get bulked up. It was funny, we had a new digital editor who started at the exact same time I did. So she was in orientation on Monday as I was getting rolling last week. And she is young and energetic and has lots of great ideas and is really interested in making the digital side of Delaware Today the perfect complement to the print side. And
because I've seen, there's a lot of magazines like this around the country, and I've seen a few of them have started a really aggressive online presence and found out they could make some money that way as well, and they've been breaking stories on a daily basis. Do you think you can get there?
We do, and that's not out of the question for Delaware Today. It's going to require some staffing changes at some point. We're going to try and bulk up our online, I don't want to say content producers, but really they are people that are working on things that can go online immediately.
But these magazines used to be, and I'm not sure they're as much anymore, used to be important in that they would break big stories and they could do long form stories locally like the newspapers sometimes can't do and like TV can't do or radio can't do. Do you think the magazines have lost a little bit of that?
I think in the tendency to go towards shorter stories, that has sometimes fallen by the wayside. But if the magazine really maintains its commitment to the readers, like I hope we do, that level of journalism will continue. Because if we depart from that, I think we're doing a disservice to our readers, because we can have all the fun, bite-sized morsels of stories in the front of the magazine that we can produce, but if you can't turn to the features well, which is the center portion that we call it, and see a story that resonates with you, or that moves you, or that makes you think a little bit differently about your state or your neighbors, then we haven't done our job. So we're going to continue to push those and push them a little bit harder.
Well, I look forward to what you do. Congratulations on getting the job. And anytime that you have one of those stories we just talked about that you want to promote, please come back. We'd love to have you.
Very good. Thanks so much.
Scott Pruden is the new editor of Delaware Today Magazine. That wraps up the Delaware Way for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week.